Hi there! It's Hannah with Frugal for Two. I am so excited today. We're going to be looking at an eggless cookie dough recipe. If you're interested in frugal recipes like this, along with frugal tips and tricks, please subscribe if you haven't already and give this video a like. Okay, so I am so excited about this recipe because I love cookie dough. I've eaten it for years, ever since I was a little kid, with the eggs in it. I know there are health risks involved with that. I'm not a doctor by any means, but I know there are some health risks according to the information that's out there, because with eggs there's a risk of salmonella, I believe, along with some other risks as well. So I am hoping that I can make this recipe and have edible cookie dough on hand whenever I want it, because I love cookie dough. Let's get this recipe started.
Edible cookie dough. Let's get to it. Today we're going to be working with butter, water, vanilla flavoring, brown sugar, white flour, white sugar, and a topping of your choice. In my case, I chose semi-sweet chocolate chips. Okay, so first we're going to be working with our butter. You're going to need 4 sticks or 2 cups of butter, and you're going to make sure that it's softened slightly, just enough that you can work with it well and make sure that there's going to be no chunks of butter in your cookie dough. That's the last thing you want to bite into when you're eating raw cookie dough, is a chunk of butter. Next, you're going to add in 2 cups of brown sugar and 2 cups of white sugar. I know this seems like a lot of sugar, but without the eggs in there, it does need a little bit more sugar to sweeten it up. So next you're going to stir together the butter and sugars until you've got a nice creamy paste. Then you're going to add in a 1/2 cup of water. This replaces some of the liquid that the eggs would normally provide. And 4 teaspoons of vanilla flavoring. This gives the dough such a nice flavor, even by itself. You're going to mix that up thoroughly, and it's going to look a bit grainy. Don't worry about that, it'll look smooth again once we add in our next ingredient. Our next ingredient is flour. You're always going to want to be careful putting in flour because it has a tendency to fly everywhere. So start with 2 cups of flour and mix that in thoroughly. Look at that creamy texture. Now that you've got that mixed in, you can add the other 2.5 cups of flour. And again, we're going to carefully mix that in. It doesn't matter whether you're hand mixing or using an electric mixer. You're going to want to start carefully. Use the electric mixer on low until you start to get it mixed in there. Or fold carefully if you're hand mixing until that is mixed in well and you've got a nice, much thicker cookie dough. It should still be quite smooth in texture. Now you're going to add in a cup of whatever topping you decided on. In my case, chocolate chips. I would normally add more than this if I was baking the cookies, but since these guys are going to be in frozen balls, I want to make sure that there isn't so many chocolate chips in there that they are very, very hard. Now you're going to cover it up and stick it in the refrigerator to chill for 30 minutes to an hour, just depending on how stiff you want to work with when you're forming your dough balls. Once that is back out again, you can form your cookies. You want to make these balls of dough about the size of a normal cookie, and then you can place them on the cookie sheet as close together as you would like, as long as they're not touching, because remember, we're freezing these, not baking them, so they won't spread out. This is probably the most time-consuming part of the process, but again, when it's all done, it will be worth it. Once you've got those all put together, you're going to want to put those sheets into the freezer for 1 to 2 hours to freeze. Prefer closer to 2 hours. It just makes them nice and hard and easy to work with so they don't stick together as you're trying to put them in the bag. It'll also keep them from being frozen together and make it harder to get them out individually later. Now that they're in quart-sized bags, I'm going to stick these into gallon-sized bags to further prevent freezer burn, and you're ready to go. I hope you enjoy.
If you've watched this far into the video, I assume you liked what you saw. If so, please give a like on this video, comment below, and give me a subscribe if you haven't already, so you can see more great content just like this. This channel is all about frugal tips, tricks, and recipes, and I look forward to sharing more with you. See you next time. Bye!